So a lot of people have been asking me to do videos for a long time. I'm finally getting to them. It took me this long to get to them because I'm self-conscious and I have the expectation that the video should be good right off the bat, but it never happens like that. I gotta face my fears. I just gotta jump in and I just gotta do it. So here we are. This show is going to be coming up in 2 weeks, and I have a knife to finish up before then. It's a collaboration piece with Halcyon Forge that we've been working on for actually a few months now. It is a 300 something millimeter chef's knife, Crew Forge V, nickel band in the center. It's going to be all blacked out. It's going to have a sci-fi handle. Totally new design that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but have been scared to do it. So this is the right knife to do it for. So this knife, the material is coming in this week. I've got pretty much the design out in my head, and then start doing the handle. For the handle, I like it to be somewhere around these two lines right here. You can have it a little bit parallel. You don't really want it kicked up or drooping down too much, then it looks a little weird. You want everything to kind of flow from the front to the rear. Generally for these hidden tanks, I have a hump around here, and then it drops away somewhere parallel with this line back here. These are just guidelines. I'll change these up a lot, but this is a good way to start. This part right here is gonna have a swell. It's gonna get skinnier, and then it's gonna have this like bird's beak thing. The actual handle base is going to be somewhere around this region. So there's going to be these little winglets that are going to stick out. Let's throw one there, throw one there. So this is going to be the furthest one. And I usually draw straight lines for my handles anyways. So it's going to end up being something like that. So before I get any further, as for function of the knife, usually the back half is going to be relatively flat. A good rocking motion is dictated mostly by the front of the knife. So you don't have to have a big belly all the way back if you want a knife that's good at rock chop. The front is going to be where your focus is. You can change the level of the tip. If it's lower, it's a better pull/push cutter. Higher towards the top is better of a rock chopper. So those are the general rules you can start playing around with. The reason why I like these lines to taper from the rear towards the front is partially for looks, but a lot of function. So if you're doing push cuts or things like that, you want a little bit of leverage. And as the profile tapers, you get less weight in the front. I like the balance to be somewhere where I'm gonna be pinch gripping the knife in this region here. But if the tip is heavy, it's gonna feel like a hefty knife. Some people like that, some people don't. It depends, it's all preference. Alright, well, I skipped a few steps there, but the design's pretty much there. There's gonna be some tweaking involved because I always kind of mess around with it as we go along. I might adjust some of these, maybe push this one down further, even this out, extend this one up, see what that kind of looks like. Fatten this one up a little bit. It's little tiny changes. The details do matter. For me, even just changing something a little tiny bit will end up affecting the whole entire appearance of the knife itself. So yeah, good luck to me. You might be wondering what I'm doing with the handle so far, and I'm wondering the same exact thing. What I'm doing is I'm making a frame style handle, meaning the handle is built using multiple layers. So there's an outside scale, there's an inner frame or a liner, and then another scale on the other side. The inner liner or frame basically hugs around the profile of the tang itself. So the tang sits inside of here. This is an easy approach. No, it's not easy. This is a straightforward approach to doing hidden tang handles because it's pretty easy to do a frame like this and then just do the simple scales on the outside. You don't have to drill down a big block and then try to fit up the tang into that hole. The thing you need to be aware of is that the thickness of the frame is pretty much exact to the thickness of the spine right where it meets. If it's off, then you're going to get a gap in the front. If you've done everything well up to this point and your tang is straight, your blade's straight, then your frame will act as your new reference line or your center line when you're shaping the rest of the handle. So what the handle is going to end up looking like is you've got your center liner, you've got one of your scales on the outside, and then you've got the other scale on the other side. So now you have a sandwich. You've got your frame as your reference line, and then everything else is just removing material as you normally would. So that's it for this video. This one was pretty simple, just kind of covering the design of the handle and kind of the overall approach that I'm going to be taking. The next one is going to focus on finishing out the blade, finishing out the handle, and hopefully having a completed knife in 7 days.